Welcome back to Auto Car Service, your go-to spot for in-depth car reviews, honest opinions, and everything in between. Whether you're under the hood or behind the wheel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we drop fresh car content every single week. Alright, today's spotlight is on a beast that's been turning heads since it rolled off the production line. Yup. We're talking about the 2025 Ford Bronco. And let me tell you, Ford is not playing this year. The new Bronco blends rugged power with refined tech in a way that just hits different. We're gonna break it all down: performance, design, tech, interior, and how it feels to actually drive this thing. So buckle up. Engine performance: beast mode. Engaged. First off, the engine, because let's be real, if a Bronco doesn't growl, it ain't a Bronco. Under the hood, the 2025 Bronco offers a couple of options, but the one we've got our hands on is the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6. This baby cranks out around 330 horsepower and about 415 pounds-feet of torque. And yes, that torque kicks in low A right where you want it for climbing, crawling, and cruising over anything in your way. There's also a 2.3-liter inline-4 option if you want something more fuel efficient, and even talk about a plug-in hybrid version floating around. But honestly, the V6 is where the magic sat. It's paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission that shifts like butter, whether you're on the freeway or kicking up sand in Baja mode. The off-road performance, still top tier. You get all your GOAT modes, goes over any terrain, plus locking front and rear differentials, trail turn assist, and a sway bar disconnect system. This is not a mall crawler SUV. This thing is built to get dirty. And Ford's tossed in some smart torque vectoring tech, so even if you're not a hardcore off-roader, the Bronco has your back when the trail gets tricky. Honestly, driving this thing feels like piloting a tank, but in a good way. Power meets control, and it's incredibly confidence-inspiring. Exterior: built wild, styled bold. The 2025 Bronco keeps its iconic, boxy silhouette, and thank God for that. Why mess with what works? The retro vibes are still strong, but Ford sharpened a few lines, refined some angles, and given us some new color options that pop hard in daylight. We've got LED lighting all around, a more aggressive front grille, and optional steel bumpers if you're looking for extra protection and ruggedness. And yes, it's still fully modular. Doors come off, roof comes off, and now it's even quicker to do so with improved latch points. You can go from daily driver to open-air adventurer in minutes. Plus, everything is made to be hosed down, because Ford knows you're not just taking this thing to brunch. Wheel options range from 17-inch beadlocks to 20-inch street-friendly styles, depending on how you build it. But whatever trim you go for, a base, big bend, wild track, or a Raptor, you're guaranteed presence. People will stare, and honestly, they should. Interior: rugged meets refined. Now let's open the door and step inside, because while the outside is wild, the inside is all about comfort, tech, and durability. The 2025 Bronco interior walks a fine line. It's rugged enough to handle mud and sand, but premium enough that it won't feel out of place pulling up to a nice dinner. Think marine-grade vinyl seats, rubberized floors with drain plugs, and optional leather that feels way more high-end than you'd expect. Front seats are supportive, heated, and have better bolstering this year. The dash layout is clean, symmetrical, and everything is built to be used with gloves. Love that detail. You've got grab handles in all the right places, and Ford's now offering some cool color accents to spice things up. The back seat has solid room. Adults can fit comfortably, and the cargo space is generous. Fold those seats flat and you've got a full-on gear hauling machine. On the tech side, the Bronco now comes standard with a 12.4-inch digital gauge cluster and a 12-inch center touchscreen running Sync 5A way faster, smoother, and more responsive than before. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are given, plus there's a new off-road trail map feature baked right in. And for the audiophiles, add the optional BO sound system slaps. Crisp highs, punchy bass, it holds up even with the roof off and wind blasting. Driving experience at the city, the trail, the vibes. So, how does it drive? Well, the Bronco has always been a bit of a dual personality, a rugged explorer on one hand, practical SUV on the other, and Ford's made that balance feel smoother this year. On pavement, it's surprisingly refined, steering feel is nicely weighted, and road noise is more subdued than you'd expect for something this boxy. The suspension soaks up bumps without feeling floaty, and even with the all-terrains, it doesn't feel like you are wrestling the wheel. But it's off-road where it really comes alive. Sand dunes, cake, mud ruts? No problem. Rocky inclines? Let's go. Engage the right GOAT mode and it adapts to whatever is underfoot. And thanks to that low-end torque, you rarely feel like you are lacking power. Even novice drivers will feel like off-road pros thanks to features like trail cameras, one-pedal crawl mode, and the new digital pitch and roll display. It's like having a spotter built into the dash. Whether you're climbing, cruising, or commuting, the 2025 Bronco makes every trip feel like a mini adventure. It's just fun to drive, and that's rare these days. Tech safety ace smart, not distracting. Ford stepped up the Bronco's tech game for 2025. Everything is clean, responsive, and well integrated. Sync 5 is a huge improvement over past versions. Menus are easier to navigate, and the voice assistant is actually useful now. Safety tech is all here: adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, and a solid 360-degree camera setup. And it all works without being overly invasive. There's also a new heads-up display on higher trims, and it's customizable, which I love. You can prioritize speed, nav, or off-road data depending on your drive. Ford Pass is still integrated, so you can remote start, lock, unlock, or locate your Bronco from your phone. And if you're a trail junkie, there's a growing community of off-road map sharing and route planning inside the app. Bottom line, it's a connected SUV, but one that doesn't forget the fun part. Price value, worth the buck? Now let's talk numbers. Base model Bronco starts around $39,000, which is pretty fair considering what you're getting. Most buyers will likely go for the mid-trims, like the Outer Banks or Badlands, which can climb into the mid-$50K range depending on options. The Wildtrak and Raptor, yeah, those can easily hit $70K plus, especially with all the bells and whistles. Is it worth it? Honestly, yeah, when you consider the build quality, the off-road gear, the tech, and the fact that this thing retains value like crazy. The Bronco is a smart buy, especially if you're actually going to use it the way it's meant to be used. Final thoughts: a 2025 Bronco, still the king. So, after spending serious time with the 2025 Ford Bronco, here's the takeaway. Ford hasn't just kept the Bronco relevant, they've made it smarter, tougher, and more fun to drive. Whether you're a weekend warrior or just someone who wants a head-turning daily with real grit, this SUV delivers. It's not trying to be a luxury crossover. It's not pretending to be soft. It knows what it is: bold, capable, and undeniably cool. If you've been on the fence about getting one, this might be the year to jump in. That's it for today's review. Let me know in the comments what you think of the 2025 Bronco. Would you cop one? And if so, which trim is calling your name? As always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next drop. We've got more car reviews, comparisons, and custom builds coming your way real soon. Thanks for riding with me. This is Auto Car Service, and I'll catch you in the next one.